It is breaking news that Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, both two of the top free agents in this market, could sign very soon. And in today's video, that's what I'm going to talk about. Before I get into this video, though, 85% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So go ahead and get your life together and hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like on this video. Subscribe, turn notifications, and leave a like, and let's go ahead and get into this video. So Seager and Semien are two of the best free agents in a loaded shortstop class this year. A loaded shortstop class and a loaded class overall. That is a very, very good class this year. So Seager and Semien could sign. Now the reason why they might sign is because of what could be a lockout before December 1st. It's an expected 2.5-month lockout because of the MLB and the MLBPA are going to have to negotiate the CBA, and that's going to be a tough task. So the CBA expires on December 1st, and it looks like high-end free agents are going to try to get deals done before that potential lockout starts. John Heyman said that it could be up to 2.5 months. Now, I don't know how much of account you take into his stuff, but 2.5 months is what the projected lockout's going to be. So it's going to be a long lockout period. Now, there's definitely going to be some teams interested in this, and the thing is, this year, it seems like it's definitely going to be a year in which the free agents sign quicker. And that was not the case last year. Last year, it was dragged out, to where the free agents didn't sign very early at all. So it looks like maybe we're going to get that this year. It sucks that it has to come at the expense of possibly a 2.5-month lockout, but still. Corey Seager is a player that has always had trouble with injuries, and that showed again in 2021 where he was injured for some of the season. But when he was healthy, boy did he show those stats. A 306 batting average, posting 16 home runs and 57 RBIs, a 394 on-base percentage, 521 slugging, 915 OPS, and a 145 OPS plus, posting a 3.7 WAR. So Corey Seager is one of the better shortstops. But like I said, the injuries are a big concern with him, and they concern me. If my team was signing him, I'd be a little concerned just because of the injury path. But if this guy is a guy that can stay on the field for 140-plus games next year, you're really, really happy. If he can stay on the field, then this is a guy that arguably is better than Carlos Correa. Now, in my predictions, I am signing with the Yankees, but there's a ton of different teams that could be interested. The Dodgers, I think, for sure will be interested in bringing him back. I think they'll be interested in bringing him back because I don't think they're going to be interested in bringing Chris Taylor back. So, like I said, Corey Seager is one of the better shortstops in baseball. He's going to have a lot of interest. The Dodgers are going to be one team that's interested for sure. The Yankees, I think, will be interested as well, needing a left-handed bat in that lineup, and also could use a shortstop heavily, considering that their shortstop right now for next season is going to be Gleyber Torres again, and Gleyber Torres is not good at all. So, I mean, he has some skill, obviously, but still not the greatest. Texas will be interested in a guy like Corey Seager, left-handed shortstop, great shortstop that they could bring in there. I think they'll be a little more interested in Trevor Story, though. Bringing him back home and stuff, I think will just make a little more sense for them. Houston, I think, will be interested as well, but I don't think Corey Seager ends up signing with the Astros. I think the Giants could be interested as well if they're looking to bring in a big free agent. Obviously, they're not going to have to pay nearly as much trying to bring back Posey. Now, that's going to save them a lot of money. And, yeah, I mean, the Cubs, I think, will be interested as well. There's going to be a ton, maybe even the Reds are interested. There's going to be a ton of different teams that are interested in Corey Seager's services, just as they should be. Seager is a great player. And, like I said, I still think my prediction's right that he ends up signing with the Yankees. As much as I hate to say that, I think he does end up signing with the Yankees. So, let's go ahead to the next free agent in Marcus Semien. Semien had a breakout year this year. The Blue Jays signed him for just a little bit under the qualifying offer, and the Blue Jays for sure could bring him back, but they're going to have to choose between Semien and Ray, pretty obviously, because they just probably aren't going to bring either of those guys back. He's very flexible, and it has been rumored that he wants to go to the West Coast, so that's something to keep into account there. That's why I kind of put him with the Mariners. I thought that not only was it a good fit, but I thought that he would be wanting to go to the West Coast. So, he had a 265 batting average this year, posting 45 home runs and 102 RBIs, at 334 on-base percentage, a 538 slugging percentage, is an 873 OPS and an OPS plus of 133, posting a 7.3 WAR. He was the best second baseman in baseball this year. And so many teams wish they could have had a guy like Marcus Semien and wish they would have paid that money to sign a guy like Marcus Semien. I mean, look at the team if the Giants signed Marcus Semien to play second base for this team. Look at how good of a team they could have been. There's just a couple teams that, I mean, you add him to, and, yeah. So, there's going to be a lot of teams interested. The Blue Jays will be interested in bringing him back for sure. The Rangers could be interested. But I think the Mariners are just such a good fit for Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien can play shortstop or second base there, whichever is his preference. They're not going to go with J.P. Crawford over. And this team is in a key position to finally start spending some money, because this Mariners team has been pretty cheap. Very cheap, actually. And they finished in second place, just missing out on the playoffs by 2 games last year, and it's finally time that they make that big free agent move, maybe a couple other moves, and start pushing towards the playoffs, because this Mariners team, like I said, is in a key position to spin, and this team has one of the best farm systems in baseball, may I add, as well, with Julio Rodriguez, Jared Kelenic. They've got so many of these farm system guys too, that are going to be coming up. Ramirez and Hancock, all of them are going to be coming up too. And this Mariners team is only getting better. And if you're Marcus Semien, you definitely want to think about going to this Mariners team for the future. I think that a team like the Astros will display some interest. The Giants maybe too. That's definitely on the West Coast. And yeah, I mean, he used to play in Oakland, so that could possibly be a idea. And he is from San Francisco, so those are some options for those guys. But I think a lot of these free agents could sign very soon. I think Correa might be one to hold it out. It just doesn't seem like he's really even close to signing. But there's already seems like a lot of interest in guys like Starling Marte and more. There's just a lot of interest in these different guys. And yeah, Semien and Seager, I definitely buy that they could be signing soon. Before this lockout, it makes a ton of sense to already be on your new team before this 2.5 month lockout. And I think it's a better idea for free agents to sign quicker anyways, instead of waiting out and stuff. They can just get accustomed to their new team a little more. Jeff Passan reported Friday there's a growing sense at least more high-profile deals will come together before the collective bargaining agreement expires, given the future uncertainty. And he's noted that Seager and Semien headlined the early deals. The early deals with both infielders, generating interest from a big-time spending New York Yankees. Big-time interest there. But yeah, there's definitely some interest already in these players. So yeah, Correa, we don't really know about him, but it has been said that these two guys are the main guys that could sign soon. And this would be super exciting and great for baseball that they sign before this collective bargaining agreement, because that's not going to be good for baseball at all. A 2.5 month lockout is not going to be good at all. But it would be great to get a lot of these free agents already signed before this collective bargaining agreement. I think it would be really good for baseball. And I'm looking forward to the offseason. Semien, Seager could sign. A lot of these guys could sign, and they're going to get a lot of money. I think that Semien's the most underrated guy in this free agent market, though. Not enough people are talking about Marcus Semien. As good as he was last year, they are just not talking about him as enough. With Seager and Correa as the top 2 shortstops, I think that Semien arguably is better than Seager. And he's on the field way more. But yeah, that's it of today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications, because like I said, 85% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So go ahead, get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.